It's time to go off script. Donald Trump says the US will go it alone on North Korea if China continues its current policy of failing to rein in Pyongyang. How would it sound to you if Chinese President Xi Jinping said for too long the US has not done enough as a peacemaker in the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, so China is going to go it alone and solve it? Here's some things to consider about China's relationship with Pyongyang. For one, they share a border with North Korea, and the North Koreans depend on China as their sole economic lifeline. Chinese support prevents famine and mass death. China doesn't want a flood of refugees across the border, just like the US wouldn't want the same were Mexico to completely collapse, at least until they build the wall. China, like South Korea, is right next door. It's easy to talk tough when your enemy doesn't live in your neighborhood. Do you think the Chinese want to push Pyongyang so hard that those nuclear warheads begin to point at Beijing? Plus, the subject of Korea is dear to both the US and China. The US lost more than 35,000 soldiers defending South Korea during the Korean War in the 1950s. The Chinese lost hundreds of thousands of soldiers defending the North. It wasn't that long ago, and the Chinese don't want to feel that so many of their people died for nothing. They want North Korea to change, and they're the only and closest thing to a friend that the North has. Don't you want to make the most of that kinship so that we can all fix this thing? What the Chinese have proposed is for North Korea to stop its ballistic missile tests and its threats. But it also wants the US and South Korea to stop conducting mega military drills, something Washington just refuses to do. Is it that unreasonable for China to want everyone to stop poking the thin-skinned guy? Yes, I know he can be buffoonish with his bad hair and reckless statements. Guys, I'm talking about Kim Jong Un. Right. He runs the country like a massive prison, a relic of the Cold War. But we should be careful not to merely caricature the North Koreans as if they're somewhat irrationally subhuman, indifferent to the needs and wants of other nation-states. I've been there. I've spoken to them. They're human beings in a failing and terrible political system. And I can't be as sure as many others that the leadership wants to commit mass suicide with their 25 million citizens. Like all countries, they want to survive, and they're willing to bluff to do so. There's no way to say for sure how to solve the North Korea riddle, but threatening to ignore the Chinese and antagonizing them might be Trump's most naive move yet. What do you think? Can Trump fix the problem of North Korea by going in alone and sidelining China?